Hi there! I'm in a country that is not so well known for its beaches, but look at that! You probably have heard of this country because of the cheese which is manufactured here, the wooden shoes, the windmills, and maybe for high-end chip manufacturing devices. So this is the Netherlands, or to be more precise, it is North Holland. We are quite near to Amsterdam, about 20 or 30 kilometers this way. And probably the reason why the beaches are not so famous, although they are quite spectacular, is that, well, you know, it is mid-June and the water temperature, I would say, is maybe 15 degrees, at most 16 degrees Celsius. So that is not enough for most people, at least, to take a swim. So I ain't gonna swim today either. So the plan is to walk around a little bit in the dunes over there. And I need to say how I got here. So I'm here with my wife and my daughter, who are walking over there in the distance, but they don't want to be in the video, I think. And we are on a bike trip. We stay in a hotel in Haarlem, which is 20 minutes by bike from here, and we came here, and I'm gonna explore this region a little bit more. So my family is gonna stay here at another part of this beach. By the way, the name of this place is Bloemendal on Zee. You can see there's a lot of restaurants all over the place. Really nice. And I'm not gonna stay at the beach right now. The plan is to take my bike, to take my Holland feet, which I'm gonna review a little bit later, and take a tour of the dunes. And here it is. And here we are in the dunes. This is a national park. It's called the National Park of Zee and Edam, or something like that, if I remember correctly. So I don't speak Dutch, and I don't even know how to pronounce most of the words, but at least I try. So it's not that different from German. But still, there are differences. Okay, beautiful place. I don't think you can go anywhere by bike. Maybe I have to park my bike somewhere and go walking. I think there are also places like, for example, here, where you can't even go walking. But let's see, it's my first time here. Well, is this the end of the road where the desert starts? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, I think I've got to walk. So before I start walking, let's do a little bike review. I rented this bike right at the hotel for 18 euros, which is not cheap, but not really super expensive. So I really didn't want to go through the hustle of looking for a bike rental shop, getting there and losing a lot of time. So I got it right at the hotel. The hotel where I'm staying is a Ibis Styles. It's a budget hotel, but that doesn't really mean it's cheap. I mean, the Netherlands are not a cheap country. We paid 170 euros, like that, for a double room, including breakfast. And yeah, it's main season, it's June, and yeah, that's the way it is. But let's have a look at the bike. So that's a typical Holland feeds. These things are quite heavy, so I would say it weighs about 18 to 20 kilograms, but they are really sturdy. They don't have rim brakes or disc brakes. The brakes are actually here at the hub, and these hub brakes are not really strong, so you have to press quite hard to get some brake effect, but they also are really sturdy. They almost need no maintenance at all, and gear switching is a simple 3-gear hub switching system. So absolutely nothing fancy, but that's not the point. 3 gears are fine for this kind of terrain, and really the most important thing is that these bikes are really sturdy. What's also interesting is when you look at the chain, it is completely closed here, so you won't get any risk of getting your clothes oily or even torn by the chain. So this is exactly the kind of bike you want in this place if you don't go long distances. What's also interesting, so you have a really upright sitting position, so this is very comfortable, but not really sportive. So that's the national park. Fietsen meenemen niet toegestaan. Another guy's having the same issue. But so the place where I want to go is a little lake or something like that. I don't think it's too far from here, maybe 500 meters. So that's not really an issue. That's a really interesting landscape. You see, there is some kind of wind protected kind of little valley down there, and the vegetation there is much greener. Maybe also because there is some better access to groundwater. I guess that when it's raining a lot, and in the winter there is probably water in these places as well. But I think the lake where I want to go is somewhere behind these hills. Go up that stairway and hope that I'm on the correct path. Still not at the top. Whoa. Look at that. Look at that side. And there it is. Looks quite amazing, the water here, and the landscape around it is really dry, and I don't think you can see that, but there are some buffaloes grazing. And interestingly, there is another pike road here, but I really don't know how to get here from the other one where I came from. Okay, let's have a look at these buffaloes. I'm a little bit afraid because I'm not sure if they are enclosed or just walking around, but there are some other guys walking around here. Interesting. So these things, they have really long horns, and I know that there is a similar kind of buffalo or cattle in Hungary, and these are always enclosed, and there are tables saying, be careful, these are dangerous animals. But these things, I'm not gonna get too close. It really looks like they are just walking around here. Yeah. Yeah. No protection, nothing. Not gonna get closer. Have a look at that lake here. To be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to walk here, but yeah, I don't know, because this is a breeding ground for some birds for sure, and so I'm not sure if it's okay, but I didn't see any tables or anything. I would say in Germany that would be different. In Germany there would be probably lots of tables saying you're not supposed to go here, not even talking about these buffaloes or whatever they are, which definitely could kill a man if they get angry. Look at these animals. There's some more over there, and well, they seem to be completely tame, so they're just walking around freely here. There's a family with 2 little kids getting really close to one of them. Interesting. buffalo in the water with some birds. And the interesting thing is that all of this is about, I don't know, 25 to 30 kilometers from Amsterdam, the largest city of the Netherlands. Okay, but I think I'm gonna go back to my bike right now because there are many other things to see. Plan is to go to another beach town, and in the late afternoon we are going to go to Haarlem downtown. Not yet sure if I'm gonna film there, but it's definitely a very interesting historical city. Back to that piece of kind of desert where I parked my bike, and I just found that from here, I think it's okay to go over here, that from here you can walk down to another beach. Well, actually it's not another beach, there is one beach which is many kilometers long. By the way, I don't think you can see this at the horizon. Must be about maybe 15-20 kilometers away. There is a large offshore wind park, and you can probably hear the wind on the microphone as well. This is definitely a windy place here, and of course that's also the reason why you have these dunes here. Somehow this reminds me a little bit of my last beach where I was almost a year ago, the beach of Bloemendal in southern Vietnam. Unfortunately, it is much colder here, about 15 degrees colder. Also, it is mid-June. Okay, but amazing beach. Amazing beach. This is the railway station of Zandvoort, and I have to say that it is probably the nicest building in this town. The rest of it is, I would say, not so pretty, but it's got a beach. Really not so nice. Beach over there, but to the right you only have these quite ugly apartment buildings. I mean, this could be somewhere in, I don't know, Bulgaria, Romania, the Black Sea. Quite a difference to the other places I've seen so far. Still, it's got a nice beach, of course. Okay, gonna leave this place, go back First to the hotel and then to the center of Haarlem, and not sure if I'm gonna film there. 2 days later, I've been to Haarlem, didn't film there, didn't have the time. Then to Amsterdam, didn't film there either. So I have been really lucky that we stay in Haarlem instead of Amsterdam, because it is so difficult to get around in the city, especially by car, that Haarlem really is the much better option, and you can rent a bike there and ride to the sea, for example. And there is a really good train connection to Amsterdam. Today is our last day here in North Holland. We've already been to the island of Marken, which is famous for its wooden houses and a wooden shoe manufacturer. Quite a touristy place, but nice. After that we went to Volendam, which is quite close to this place here. Also very touristy. It's at the seaside, but it's not the Northern Sea, but the IJsselmeer. I think that's what it's called. And now we have arrived at Edam, and this is so far one of my absolute favorites. It's a small town. It's the town that gave name to the famous Edam cheese. I mean, I started this video in a cheese store. Actually, it was a famous cheese market, but it's more like a tourist place nowadays. But the town of Edam itself, I hope you can see that it's really nice. Plan is to visit 2 more beach places today, and then sometime go back to Germany. Still in Edam. Once again, things didn't really work out as planned. I didn't manage to visit the 2 beach towns, Bergen and Egmont. Instead, I'm back at the beach or almost the beach where I started the video. It is already 6 o'clock, after 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, one thing I learned once again, it's not a good idea when you travel with your family or with somebody else to plan to make a video, because your plans normally simply won't work out. What else did I learn? The Netherlands are a really well organized and also rich country, more so than Germany. I especially liked Haarlem, and especially the part of Haarlem where our hotel was located or is located. It's named Bloemendal, and this is kind of the place where the rich people of Haarlem live. Very nice. And I think I already said that it was a really good idea to have our hotel in Haarlem as opposed to Amsterdam, what we originally planned. It is much easier to get around by car. So today we brought our daughter to the city center, or somewhere near the city center of Amsterdam, by car, because she wanted to spend another day or half day there. It was really catastrophic, so we were driving around for about 2 hours, having to deal with closed roads, crazy traffic. So this is absolutely not recommended. So in this respect, Haarlem is much better. Also, you can take a bicycle and cycle exactly here where I'm walking right now. It's just 15 to 20 minutes. I think I also already said that I didn't really like Amsterdam that much. It's a fascinating city for sure, but very, very touristy, and yeah, it's a special kind of tourism. So there are a lot of people who want to party, especially people who are into weed. And yeah, if that's what you want, go to Amsterdam. And even aside from that, it's really a great place. It's a beautiful place, but a little bit chaotic, maybe. But definitely something you have to see. What else? Yeah, it's not a cheap country. Most prices are around the same as in Germany, but some things are more expensive. I would say restaurants are like 20% maybe more expensive on average. And what especially bothered me in restaurants was the size of drinks. So when you order a water or a Coke or something like that, you typically only get 2 centiliters, very small size, and yeah, the prices are, well, too high, I would say. Also, when you order a beer, normal size is quarter of a liter. In Bavaria, where I live, you have half a liter for a regular beer, and the prices are even higher. So the prices for a quarter liter are often higher than prices for half a liter in Bavaria, even in Munich. But I would say that's not a reason not to come here. There are lots more things which I didn't do, and yeah, I do recommend it. So I think finally that's it from North Holland. See you again next time, maybe from Germany. Bye bye.